MFW on AllSportzAsia.
Welcome to MFWTV in Focus. I'm here in the breezy backdrop of Batu Ferringhi with Penang CEO Bojan Hodak and his son Luka. Coach, your season with Penang was far from breezy. Can you just explain the situation at the club when you took over in May?
When I entered the club was bottom of the table with only 6 points. We went through a situation that is definitely not good. Everybody at that time predicted that Penang will be relegated. But then after that, in second half of the season, we won 16 points, which is big improvement. And the last match we stayed in the league, which I believe with the team that we have, with the players that we have, that this was really good achievement.
Okay. Staying in the league, beating Terengganu to survive relegation on the final day of the season, it was such a dramatic game. Would you say that is one of the biggest achievement of your career so far?
I will not say that it's biggest achievement, and especially this was a difference that I was not coaching this time. I was here in different role, but I believe that, of course, if you check the situation where I take over the team, and at the end of the season, it was a really good achievement.
Okay. And how was this different compared to winning titles with Kelantan and Terengganu and even before that?
For me, it's every job. The first thing is you need to analyze your team, analyze potential of your players, potential of the club, and after you analyze everything properly, then you can have a realistic, what is the realistic target and realistic achievement. If you have players that can fight for the top of the league, you will fight. But if you have players and inexperience, and most of them never play in Super League, to stay in the Super League was one realistic target.
Okay. And you took over in a CEO position in May. This, I believe, is your first position as CEO. How did this compare with being coach on the sidelines?
But I didn't want to be coach because I didn't have time at the beginning. I also need to do my license. I need to do refreshment of my license, so I was not focused on those things. But basically, at the end, I was some sponge between a tampon zone between the coaches, players, between the team and management, because sometimes too much pressure on players doesn't help. So I think that this role helped to coach to be focused and players focus on the pitch. I was focused on the other thing. Also, there was certain things that I tried to improve off the pitch, like marketing management. The club didn't have anything like that when I arrived, so it's slightly better, but we will see how this will work in the future.
Okay. And you had a lot of local players in your ranks. Do you think any of them deserve to be in the AFF team?
At the moment, none of them. At the moment, there are 2-3 guys that are young. They have potential. Maybe in 2-3 years they can be in the national team. But from the present squad, I don't think that anybody perform. Maybe only Fitri Omar, who had a great half season, who maybe perform at the level that is important for the international level. But I don't think that in this team anybody had performance to be in a squad for Suzuki Cup.
Okay. You were in the short list of the national team when FAM were looking for a national coach earlier this year. And moving forward, now they are preparing for the AFF Cup, which they won in 2010. Do you think they have what it takes to go all the way in this tournament?
I think that they are very lucky with the draw, because it's really good group. So I think that easily they will go to the semi-final. After this, depends who they will get in semi-final. Sometimes depends the inspiration for the 1 match or 2 match, but definitely all doors are open for them. The way is open to go to the semi-final.
And having coached around this region, what do you think of the level of competition in the AFF Cup over the last few years?
It's always tough competition, because for most of the local national teams, this is competition when they want to prove themselves. And if they want to do something in Asia, realistically none of the Southeast Asian teams achieved something in a recent history. But that's the reason why all these teams trying to win AFF Suzuki Cup. The only team that I can see think different is Thailand, and even the last tournament they sent under 23 squad. So I believe that all other teams are focused and trying. For them is very important tournament.
Any of the players you foresee standing out in the AFF Cup? Any of the Southeast Asian players?
I think that the Thai players show this, that last tournament they have lots of young boys. They will be more experienced this time, 2 years more experience. They are better if they show really performance like the last tournament. I think that there are 4 or 5 players that can achieve something, that can see that they are different class for Southeast Asia, and maybe they are ready to go for the next level.
How far do you think the AFF Cup is in terms of standard from the Asian Cup?
Oh, it's very far. You cannot compare. Realistically, it's very far still. As I said, none of the national team in Southeast Asia achieved something in Asia, and still there will be lots of times they need to arrange many things, especially youth development, to be at the same level.
Okay. Going back to Penang, coach, season is over, but what are your plans for the team? Will you be continuing as Penang CEO come next season?
I don't think that I will continue. My contract is finishing on November 30th, and after this probably I will leave, because what is on my mind and what is on management mind probably is not the same. So for me it's wasting of time and money. If you want advice, if you want somebody to change something and you want advices, if you don't want to follow their advices, then no point to stay. Okay. So probably I believe that they have their ideas, I have my ideas, so we will split and go.
And what are your plans? Do you plan to continue coaching and managing teams in Malaysia?
Doesn't matter for me, anywhere in the world, wherever I have. Now I'm in a situation that I don't need to rush in any job. I can choose the jobs, and sometimes it's good when I see that something doesn't matter about money, but if you see that team is targeting to achieve something, they want to do this proper way, then probably I will take.
Okay. Many thanks to Coach Bojan Hodak for joining us in the first segment of MFWTV in Focus. Thank you, Coach, and all the best for the next year.
Yes.